Dang! Wow! I felt that one in my bones. What's up, dudes? I'm Josh Snyder, and today we have another Tom MacDonald reaction video. Tom MacDonald is the primary artist in which I've reacted to, so if you have a moment, you like Tom MacDonald stuff, or at least you like the controversy behind a lot of his songs, go check out some of the other reaction videos. But today we're going to be reacting to a brand new track that is doing really well in the charts, and to my understanding, touches on some pretty hard-hitting topics. What topics might those be? Stay tuned.
Time and again for a reason to say that my life was alright. I thought I knew what it was that I needed, but I could never seem to.
Alrighty, welcome back to JSM More Than Music. As I mentioned, my name is Josh Snyder, and I appreciate you tuning into my channel today. This channel is a multifaceted channel with faith, culture, music, and the arts all platformed, and I love doing music reactions. I love talking about different cultural topics and how it pertains to faith and the practice of the Christian faith. And there's so much more that we're going to be rolling out here in the near future. And so if you haven't done so already and you like the sound of some of the stuff that I'm putting out here and the things that I just mentioned that we will feature, please help my channel grow, help our channel grow by hitting that subscribe button and the little bell notification in the corner so you won't miss a new video when we release it. All right, let's just jump right into this reaction to a song called Sheeple. Sheeple by Tom MacDonald.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis. Controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties. It's a big lie, trying to make you pick sides, trying to make you burn the cities down and kill each other. They got sick minds, big lies, deep on the police so that there's big crime. To take away our freedom, to restore order they let die. Play with people, turn men into women, make the counterculture mainstream to mix up the system. Change the pronouns, if gender is a spectrum, so is privilege. I know poor white folks and black celebrities with millions. They starve you with a lack of information and only give you facts through a branded corporation. Distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes based on propaganda curated for your engagement.
Man, he didn't even have an intro or nothing. He just slapped right into the song, and maybe it's because he had so much to say. That's my guess. You know, he doesn't do intros because he just has so much to say, and it's already almost a 4-minute song without the intro. I'm not even going to be able to come close to covering everything here, things that stood out, and so please do me a favor and drop your comments below on what you thought stood out to you most, in little areas maybe I don't touch on. But the idea of the song Sheeple, I think, has to do with it's the criticism that we hear tossed around in multiple camps, but the idea that I'm going to follow you blindly without asking questions. But straight out of the gate, he goes up and he starts railing on a lot of things that he commonly rails on very articulately, if that's how you say it, articulately. Anyway, he talks about the culture being divided for the sake of keeping us at odds with each other so that they can control. They, as in people who are in power, people in the top echelons of our country, of our world, are looking in and being, I believe, controlled by higher powers, or at least being influenced heavily by the higher powers or lower powers. These people, these individuals or groups or corporations, they control us by dividing us, because truly, if we are fighting amongst each other, we cannot fight the real enemy. Satan and the powers of this world use our divided political systems and our divided ideologies to kill us off. Not necessarily physically, but at times physically. Possibly with the agenda to give diseases essentially out to the masses and keep them medicated and dependent on a medical system that is broken in many aspects. If we blindly follow the people at the top, the people that are scratching and clawing for control, we are sheeple. And again, there was quite a bit mentioned there. Talked about propaganda, algorithms, the fact that essentially each of us think that, you know, everyone thinks the way we think. The reason why we think that is because our Facebook, our Instagram, our Snapchat, our YouTube algorithm only feeds us what we watch. Only feeds us the things that knows that we want to watch, which is good for business, but not good if we ever want to expose ourselves to other opinions or thoughts or ideologies. And I'm just going to say this before we jump right into the chorus here. I am not a proponent and advocate for Tom MacDonald and everything that he says and does, but I believe that much of what he does say is very clean-cut, blunt truth. Many times it is. And at times it's not, and I will disagree with him on certain levels. I can stand behind a guy who will stand up and take slashes at the system, even outside of Christianity, though I do believe that he needs Jesus Christ, as every person watching this needs Christ. Let's jump right into the chorus.
We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh, my sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
Nothing's what it seems. We're all part of the machine because we're glued to our screens. Ooh, he's taking slashes. So when you're done with this video, go outside, get some fresh air. Make sure you subscribe first, though. What you put in your mind, what you put in your ears, will influence you. That's in our music. That's in our viewing content. That's in the things that we think and ponder on. Things we let hold prolonged ground in our mind. So I want to challenge you. Feed yourself right things. Don't think that the song's just a bop and that's all music is. No, music is powerful. The culture, the arts, movies, powerful. So if you can limit certain things from coming into your eye gate or ear gate and ultimately into your mind, do so. Because some of the greatest and mightiest men and women of all time, the most faithful, devout Christians and non-Christians alike, who felt that they were strong within themselves, fell because they allowed their mind to be infiltrated and worked away and eroded by culture, by music that sexualizes everything and everyone, or makes you think that this world's the only thing to live for is this world, and drugs and alcohol and lying and cheating and beating up on people and acting bigger than everyone else, and all these other concepts that we hear so often pushed in the mainstream. But women say, I'm not a piece of meat, but then proceed to go and shake their rear for them dollars. And then get mad at guys for saying that's sexual. You are literally doing exactly what you're saying you don't do. And then we wonder why we have such a problem with men over-sexualizing women. I'm not excusing those men. But we need to get honest with ourselves. We need to get honest with the culture. We need to get honest with what we put in our minds. Because it will drive us away from God. It will drive us away from righteousness. It'll drive us away from things that we should do if we continue to consume content that is contrary to our morals and our belief system. Let's move on.
Hollywood been right in your brain, controlling your mouth. You say lit, fleet, bet, cap, they trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout, and use minorities in movies for diversity clout. Two sides on the spectrum, but ain't none of them honest. Took the red pill and the blue pill, spit them both in the garbage. Being woke used to mean you understood you're a target, and now it's having two good legs and never taking a step forward. If you agree it's free speech, disagree it's hate speech. Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump supporters labeled as the racist, but that can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery. Science been politicized, it's easy to see. A mask became a symbol of which side you believe. But you'll never cure a sickness till you cure the greed, because the problem with our natural immunity is it's free. Society is broken, want you locked inside a cubicle, addicted to pornography, liquor, and pharmaceuticals. Tell you that you're fat and poor and you were never beautiful, then tweet how much they love you when they hear about your funeral.
Ah, dang, wow, I felt that one in my bones. Get mad at you because you sexualize everything and everyone, but then get you hooked on pornography and pharmaceuticals and alcohol and all these things that literally control your mind, that will steer your actions the wrong direction. I believe we're in a world that God created, but when sin entered into the world, death came, and so did evil. You'd be surprised what they're putting in some of that stuff that they put in you to fix you. And then that fix causes a bunch of other side effects. It doesn't actually fix the problem at its core. It only drugs it up, gets you dependent on a set of drugs, and then now you've got side effects, so you got to go get more prescription drugs to combat. It is a cycle of insanity. I don't know how else to say it. This is a cycle of insanity in which we have in the medical system, in our food system, in the mainstream culture, and then we're gonna censor, and then we go and censor anything that says, anyone that says, I think I'm gonna naturally fight this. Whether it's COVID, whether it's, whatever it is. Again, that doesn't mean don't go and seek out medical help if you need medical help. But it does mean that there needs to be some sort of balance, and don't think that somehow the medical system, because they've got high-end technology, that they've got your best interest in mind at all times. Don't believe me? Just start looking into the ingredients they stick in some of this stuff. Let's move on.
We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh, my sheep. Nothing's what it seems. If they can't convince you, they confuse you. They want you dumb and dead. They divided you by race, religion, income, and sex. Made everybody right and left. The hatred got so intense. If the other side likes oxygen, you'll put a bag on your head. And the conspiracy theories labeled as misinformation is just a terrifying truth that scares the hell out the nation. The system treating you like trash and you got rifles to aim with. Just imagine how they'll treat you when your guns get confiscated. George Orwell, 1984 was his last lecture. George called them thought police. Now we call them fact checkers. Government surveillance trying to catch you. They don't ask questions. Mass incarceration equals capital for cash investors. The system isn't broke, it's working fine. Oppressive and chaotic is how it was designed. They say if we ain't doing nothing wrong, there's nothing to hide. While their agenda and intelligence completely classified. They don't teach you rights in school, you never learn them at all. Cause they're easy to remove if you don't know what they are. The only people you can rule are the criminal ones. So they force you into corners till you're breaking the law.
Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna say wow. Force you into corners so you're breaking the law. Not one of us. It's easy. It is so easy to break the law. I'm just gonna say that. Not saying that we should try to break the law, but there are so many laws and regulations that don't even make sense, that are not practical at all, that I don't even have time to get into right now. It talks about our rights being eroded so much so that they don't talk about these rights, especially the American rights, the American constitutional-based rights. They don't talk about them anymore because it's so much easier to take them away, to chop them into little pieces, and to slowly pull out every piece of that right if you don't know what it is. If you're ignorant. Man, there are so many people running around that are ignorant. I'm not saying that I have all knowledge and everything. I do not. I do not at all. I'm learning, I'm growing. And I gotta try to balance grace and truth when trying to come up against things that boil my blood, like what's going on in this world. But that doesn't mean we should stay silent. And that doesn't mean those of us who have a foundation of truth should not stand up and advocate for not only those who can't speak like the unborn, but advocate for those who are ignorant, advocate for those who may not understand what's going on or cannot fight back. Again, we got to be balanced. That's why most of us who are in a camp that think there's a lot more going on than what meets the eye, we're labeled as conspiracy theorists and nut jobs, because many of us get so angry, so mad at what we see going on, that we'll get up and start slashing people. Sometimes even wrongfully, like saying the wrong things just to make a point. And that's not right either. We've got to be balanced in how we respond. And I believe Tom was pretty well balanced in this song. I've heard a lot of his music, and I've heard some of the songs that I'm not really feeling how he's thinking on them and things like that. But I think he nailed it. Again, let me know if there's anything you don't think he nailed in the comments below, or anything that stood out to you more. So let's jump right into this final chorus and we'll wrap it up.
We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh, my sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
Ooh. That is Sheeple by Tom MacDonald. Aside from everything that we just touched on here, I think his graphics and the editing skills and the different things he incorporates into his videos are definitely going to new levels with this particular video. And there's so much more that we could cover. I'm not gonna be able to cover it all. But I hope you like some of the conversation. I hope you'll engage below in some of the things that maybe you agree with or don't agree with. If you want to help this video get out to more people, feel free to share it. Feel free to tag me in on your socials under Josh Snyder or Josh Snyder Music. I'd love to hear what you think. But then beyond that, smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers here pretty quick, and you can help us in this journey to getting monetized so that I can get a little bit of money to do what I do on this end of the camera. But anyway, I'm gonna go spend 4 or 5 hours editing this particular video, and I will see you back here next time for another episode on JSM More Than Music. Thanks for joining me.